shall the air the set of sun. Where the place? Upon the heath, there to meet Macbeth. I come! Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through fog, and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He should report as seemeth from his plight of the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hearty soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood as two spent swimmers that should cling together and choke their art. The merciless Macdonald, worthy to be a rebel for two, that the multiplying abilities of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isle, kerns and gallus glasses is supplied. And fortune on his damned quarrel smiling showed like a rebel's whore. All's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution. Like Valor's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the jack, fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
Mark, King of Scotland, Mark, no sooner justice had, with valor armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, the sparrow's eagles or the hare the lion. If I say sooth, I must report that they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. Except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha, I cannot tell. I'm faint. My gashes cry for help.
Thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor, both. Go, get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
Just haste looks through her eyes. So should she look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
When campst thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Where Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict. Till that Belena's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons. Point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Oh, great happiness.
That now we know the Norway's king craves composition, nor would we deign him burial of his men till he disbursed of St. Combs inch $10,000 to our general use.
No more will that Thane of Cawdor deceive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he has lost, noble Macbeth has won.
Where hast thou been, sister? King swine. Sister, where thou? A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched, and munched, and munched. Give me, quoth I, a Roynsley witch, the rum-fed Ronyan cried. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger. But in a sieve I'll thither sailing like a rat, without a tail I'll do, and I'll do. I'll give thee a wind. Thou art kind. I another. And I myself have all the other. And the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know in the shipman's card. I'll drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man for big. Where he senates 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak, and pine. And though his bar cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest-tossed. Look what I have. Show me, show me. Here I have a pilot's son. Yet, when homeward he was come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
Oh, here, sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to 9, and thrice to 9, and thrice again, make up
9. So foul as birds I have not seen.
How far is its call to? 4. What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, but that are on it. Live you or you are said man may question. You seem to understand me.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glass!
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail Macbeth! Thou shalt be king hereafter!
Oh, good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical or that which indeed outwardly ye show? My noble partner you greet with presence grace of noble having and of royal hope that he seems rapt withal, but to me you speak not. Now if you can, look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not. Speak then to me. You neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail! Hail! Lesser than Macbeth, and greater.
Not so happy, and yet much happier.
Thou shalt give kings, though thou be none. All hail Macbeth and Banquo!
Well, stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. Of my sinner's death I know I am Thane of Glass, but how of Cawdor? And the Thane of Cawdor is a prosperous gentleman. And then to be king says no within the prospect of belief no more than to be Cawdor. Say from what you owe this strange intelligence. Why upon this blasted heath you stay our way with such prophetic greeting? Speak, I charge you!
For the earth has bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Oh, would they stayed?
For such things here as we do speak about.
Your children shall be kings!
You shall be king!
I came, God, Arthur!
When it not so, some say
soon in words.
Who's here?
Roars! And roars! Ah, yes! Roars!
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. As thick as hail came post to post, and every one did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks.
Oh, hey.
Only to herald thee into his side, not
Oh, God, no!
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which edition, hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What, can the devil speak
The
truth?
Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wreck, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Arms and Thane of Cawdor. Greatest is behind. Do you not hope your children shall be kings when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you into the
Oh,
crown besides
come
the
now.
Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tells us truth. Win us with honest trifles to betray us in most deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
True truth, Sir Tor. As happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. Oh, cannot be ill. Cannot be good. If ill, why have they given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? My present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise. Nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partners wrap.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me, without my stir.
New horrors come upon them like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may. Time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your pardon. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I may turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think on what hath chanced, and upon what time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
To little enough. Come, friends.
Execution done on Cawdor. Are not those in commission yet returned? Not yet come back. But I spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death to throw away the dearest thing he owed, as to a careless trifle. There's no art to finding the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hadst less deserved, that the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due, than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your highness part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state, children and servants, which do but what they should, in doing everything safe toward your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that has no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee, and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you, whose places are the nearest, know, we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers, from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly, take my leave.
Worthy Cador, true worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it all, came missives from the king, who all hailed me. Thane of Cador, by which title before the weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail, King that shalt be! This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner in greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart. Oh, farewell. Farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cador, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature, 'tis too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou still have, great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do than wishest should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round which fate in metaphysical age doth seem to have crowned thee withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who, were it so, would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending, he brings great news. The raven himself is horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me now, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, and stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Oh, come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Oh, come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold, hold! Oh, great Glamis, worthy Cador, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Oh, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he comes.
Oh, never shall the sun that morrow see. Your face, my thing, is as a bookworm may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your hand, your eye, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
Who shall speak for?
Only look up clear, to alter favor ever to fear. Leave all the rest to me. The Prince of Cumberland. That is the step on which I must o'erleap, or else fall down, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my deep and black desires. Oh, the eye winketh the hand, yet let that be when it is done, which the eye fears to see.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting marchlet, does approve by his loved mansionry that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jetty, frieze, buttress, no coign of vantage. But this bird hath made his pendant's bed and procreant's cradle where they most breed and haunt, I've observed. The air is delicate.
Oh, see our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid good illness for your pain, and thank us for your trouble.
All our service in every point twice done, and then done double, were poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broader with your majesty loads our house. For those of old and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rescue our hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well. And his great love, sharp as a spur, has helped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs in pomps to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If we're done, when's this done? It were well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his success. But this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here, but here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come.
But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions which being taught return the plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice even to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, both strong against the deed, then as his host, who should get his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself.
Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek and so clear in his great office that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. Pity, like a naked newborn babe, striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim, horse upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which all leaps itself, falls on the other.
How now, witness?
Oh, he has almost supped.
Have you asked for me?
No, you not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. You have honored me of late. And I've bought golden opinions of all sorts of people, which will be worn now in their newest plus not cast aside so soon.
Oh, was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage?
Peace. I dare do all that does become a man. Who dares more is none.
Oh, what beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while he was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
We should fail.
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the water of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbic only. When in a swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers who shall bear the guilt of our great quab?
Bring forth men, children only. For thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have smeared with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber, and use their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it? Others we shall make our greaves and clamors roar upon his death.
I am settled. Bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mark the time with fairest shod. False face must hide, but the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
She goes down at 12.
I take 'tis later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. Oh, there's husbandry in heaven. The candles are all out. I'll take thee, that's 2. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Oh, merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there? A friend. Oh, but sir, not yet at rest. The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your officers. This Diamond, he greets your wife withal by the name of most kind hostess.
Being unprepared, our will became a servant to the fact, which else should free of wrong.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you, they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
You shall cleave to my consent when 'tis. Shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. Shall be counted.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The likes to you.
Is this a dagger that I see before me? The handle towards my hand?
Oh, come, let me clutch thee.
I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat oppressive brain? I see thee still, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou motionest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes have made the fools of the other senses. I was worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade indulgent gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. It's a bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now the one-half world nature seems to have, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offering, and withered murder, alarmed by a sentinel the wolf whose howls his watch, thus, with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, towards his design moves like a ghost. Know thou sure and firm set, Erkin, not my steps which way they walk. Fear the very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it.
Was I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of thee too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan. There is a knell that summons thee. To heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! Oh, it was the owl that shrieked, that fatal bellman that gives the sternest good night. He's about it. Doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I've drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! Oh, I laid their daggers ready, he could not miss 'em. Oh, had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I've done the deed. Does I not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did you not speak?
When?
No.
As I descended?
I.
Who lies in the second chamber?
Galloway.
Oh, this is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
As one did laugh in his sleep. One cried murder, but they did wake each other. I stood and heard them. But they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other. Said it seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
consider it not so deep.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I have most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
I thought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that eats up the rabbit sleeve of care. So labor's bath, balm of her mind's great nature's second course, chief nourisher of life.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more, to all the house. Macbeth does murder sleep. Therefore Glamis shall sleep no more, Cawdor shall sleep no.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of things. Go, get you some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I must think on what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? Who is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Look out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash clean this blood from my hands? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. Hark! I hear knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. How easy is it then? A little water clears us of this deed. Your constancy had left you unattended. Hark! More knocking. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deeds were best not to know myself. Wait, Duncan, with thy knocking. Would thou couldst.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Helgate, he should have old churning the key.
Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time. Have napkins enough about you. Here, your sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Faith, here's an equivocator who could swear in both scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French tomb. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never had quiet, what are you? But this place is too cold for hell. Our devil porter it no feather. I
man thought to have let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire! Back. Anon, I pray you. Remember the border.
Was it so late, friend? Ere you went to bed, did you do lies so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sirs, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him, and it mars him. It sets him on, and it takes him off. It persuades him, and disheartens him. Makes him stand to more, and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in his sleep, and giving him the lie leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throat on me. But I requited him for his lie, and I think being too strong for him. Oh, he took up my legs sometime, yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is the master stirring? Knock you guys awake. Here he comes. Good morning, noble sir.
Tomorrow, both?
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to it.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet, this one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make the bold to call. It is my limited service. Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly where we lay. Our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air.
Indeed.
Strange screams of death, prophesizing with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events.
Yes,
some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it. Oh, horror! Tongue no heart cannot conceive no name thee. What is it? Confusion hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple, and so fits the life of the pilgrim.
What did you say, the life?
Mean you his majesty? Approach the chamber, and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, then speak yourself. Awake. Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo! Donovan! Malcolm! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep! Death's counterfeit and on death itself! Up, up, and see the great doom's image! Banquo! Malcolm! As from your graves, rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of this house? Speak!
Gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition of woman's here with murder as it fell. Banquo! Our royal master's murdered.
Whoa, alas, what, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear death, I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. But now there's nothing serious in mortality, all is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere leaves left this vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are and do not know it. The spring, the fountain, the head of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father is murdered.
Oh?
By whom? Those of his chambers, it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were in a bag with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped he found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life is to be trusted with them.
Yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them. Wherefore did you so? Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition my violent love outran the pause of reason. Here they, Duncan. The silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature, the ruin's wasteful entrance. They're the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, the daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that in a heart to love, and courage in his heart to make his love known?
Look to the lady. Why don't we hold our tongues, that most may claim this argument for ours? What should be spoken here? Where our fate hidden in augur hole may Russian seize us? Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed, nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. When we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. And in the great hand of God, I stand in defense against the undivulged pretense. I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I!
So all!
Let's briefly put on manly readiness. Meet in the hall together.
Welcome, contender.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. All to England.
To Ireland, I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles. The near in blood and the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but swift away, towards in that theft, which steals itself when there's no mercy left.
Horses, the thing most strange and certain. Beauteous and swift, the minions of their race turn wild, their stalls flung out, contending against obedience, as they would make war with mankind.
'Tis said they ate each other.
Oh, they did so, to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Here comes a good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, indeed, what good could they pretend?
They were support. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, thriftless ambition that would raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named, and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmcille, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors, and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin. Out to fight.
Well, I will thither.
And may you see things well done there. I do. Lest for old robes sit easier than unknown.
Farewell, mother.
God's blessings go with you, and with those that would make good of bad, friends of foes.
How hast it now? King, Cawdor, Glamis, all. As the weird women promised, and I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said that it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. Now if there comes truth from them as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope. Hush. No more. It was our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we'll hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Well, let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We all should have desired your good advice, which some both grave and prosperous in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. As far you ride?
As far as will fill up the time twixt this and supper, go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour.
Not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parasite, filling their ears with strange invention. But of that tomorrow. We shall have cause of state craving us jointly. I eat a horse, adieu till you return again at night. Your splayance with you.
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Walden, God be with you. Sorrel, a word. Attend those women our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears and Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares. And to the dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valid act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. I chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me and bade them speak to him, and then prophet-like they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessels of my peace, only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings! The seed of Banquo, kings! Rather than so, come fate into the list. Champion me to the utterance. Now go to the door and stay till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke again together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well then, have you considered of our former speeches? Know that it was he that in times past held you so under fortune, which you had thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference, passed in probation with you, how you were borne in hand, how crossed, the instruments, who wrought with them, and all things else that might to half a soul and to a notion crazed say, thus did Banquo.
You have made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospeled as to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are women.
We are women.
In the catalogue you go for men. As hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, choughs, water rugs, and demi-wolves are all clept by the name of dog. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter, each according to the gifts which bounteous nature hath in him closed, receiving particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike. And so is it with men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business in your bosom whose execution takes your enemy off, grapples you to the heart and love of us, who are our health but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world hath
so incensed that I am reckless what I do, to spite the world.
And I another, so wearied with disasters, tugged by fortune, that I set my lie upon any chance to mend it, or be rid on it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet must I not. For certain friends that are both mine and his, whose loves I may not drop, but wail the fall of he whom I myself struck down. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
So our lives.
May your spirits shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourself. Acquaint you with the perfect spy, the time, the moment on it. For it must be done tonight. And something from the palace. Always thought that I require a clearness. And to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleance's son, who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must with him embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight find heaven. Must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to my lord. Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Not sad, all spent. Where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts that should indeed have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We've scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be yourself again, whilst awful malice remains in danger of her former curve. The frame of things disjoint, both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear. Sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we need to gain our peace of scent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan's in his grave. Treason has done his worst, nor steel, nor poison, malice, domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on. Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks, be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love. And so, I pray, be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present an eminence with both eye and tongue. Safe the while. We must lave our honors in these flattering streams, making our faces visards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must believe this.
This is my mind. Thou knowest that Banquo in his fleance lives.
But in them nature's copies not etern.
Well, there's comfort yet! They are assailable! Then be thou, Jock. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, there shall be done a deed of dreadful notes.
What's to be done?
Oh, be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Jock, till thou applaud the deed. Come, silly knight, Scoff up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel into pieces that great bond which gives you. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. The things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black ages to their praise do rouse. With a marvelous at my words, but hold thee still! Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So, go with me.
Join up, Macbeth! He's not our mistrust. Since he delivers our offices and what we must do in a direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streak of day. Now spurs the lated traveler apace to gain the timely inn. And near approaches the subject of our walk.
Hark! I hear horses.
Give us a light there. Oh!
'Tis he! The rest is all within the note of expectation already, all within the cards!
His horses go about.
Almost a mile. He does so usually as all men do from thence to the palace gate. Make it their walk.
Stand to it.
There will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Fly, the flare! Fly! Fly! You know you're under grace. Sit down. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Next to your Majesty.
I'll self-play the humble host and mingle with society. Our hostess keeps her state, but at best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends, for my heart speaks. They are welcome.
There's blood on thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
It is better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My good sir, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he is good that did the like for flayance. If thou didst it, thou art the non-corral.
Most royal sir, Leonce is escaped.
Comes my hit again. I had us been whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad in general as the casing air, but now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. The Banquo's safe.
Aye, good sir. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenched gashes in his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. Get thee gone. We'll hear ourselves again tomorrow.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold that is not often vouched, while 'tis a making 'tis given with welcome. To feed were best at home. From thence the sauce to meat were ceremony. Meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both.
Yeah.
See, they encounter thee with their hearts' thanks. Both sides are even here, I'll sit in the midst. Be large in mouth, and onwards we can measure the table round.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roof, where the grace of person of our Banquo present, whom may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please it your highness to grace us with your royal company.
Oh, the table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves your highness?
Which of you has done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did it!
Never shake thy gory locks at me!
Gentlemen, rise. His Highness is not well.
Sit! Worthy friends, my royal lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. I pray you keep seat. The fit is momentary. He will upon a thought again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
I am a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Why do you make such faces when all's done? You look but on a stool.
But did see there! Behold! Look! Look! Why, what care I? If thou canst not speak too! If eternal houses in our graves and those we bury back, our monuments shall be the most of kind!
What? Quite unmanned in folly?
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame.
Let it be said, Anna. In the olden time, ere the human statute purged the gentle will eye, and since two murders have been performed too terrible for the ear.
The time was that when the brains were out, the man would die and there an end. But now they rise with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My royal lord, your noble friends soon lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. Fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To him, and all we thirst, and all to all. To Banquo!
Avaunt! And quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold, thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with!
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom 'tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
When man dare, I dare. Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or the harkened tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerves will never tremble. Or be alive again, and tempt me to the desert with thy sword. And trembling I inhabit then, protest me the baby of a girl. Heads, horrible shadow! Unreal mockery, heads!
So, being gone, I am a man again. I pray you sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Or can such things be and overcome us as a summer cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe when I think your eyes can behold such sights and keeps a natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord? I pray you speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go. At once.
Good night. Better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
Like they say, blood. Stones have been made mold and trees to speak. Augurs an understood relation to have by magpies and choughs and rooks brought forth the secretest man of blood. What is the name?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which.
How sayest thou that Macbeth denies his person at our great bidding?
Send to him, sir.
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them but in his house I keep a servant to feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters more shall they speak. For now I'm bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I am stepped in blood so far, that should I wade no more,
Returning were as tedious as to go on. Strange things I haven't had, and little to hand, which must be acted ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Oh, go to sleep. Thy strange and self-abuse is but the initiate here that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I say things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth, marry he was dead. For the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it pleased you, Fleance killed. For Fleance fled. Men must not walk too late. Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned fact. How it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear that were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too. But 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say he has borne all things well. And I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, and as it please heaven he shall not, they should find what were to kill a father. So should Fleance. But peace! For from broad words, and because he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Can you tell, sir, where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace, for the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Thither Macduff is gone to pray the holy king, upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and warlike Siward, that by the help of these, with him above to ratify the work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets bloody knives, to faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report had so exasperated the king that he now prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent you to Macduff?
He did so, and with an absolute, "Sir, not I." Proudy messenger turns me his back and hums, as who would say, "You'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer."
That well might advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he comes, that a swift blessing may soon return to this, our suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Thrice the brinded path new. Threads and once the hedge wide. Happy a cry, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone days and nights have 31. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boiled out first in charmed pot.
Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron rubble. Fillet of a pepper in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder smoke and blind worm steam, lizard leg and owlet wing. For charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, mind gulf of the ravin salt sea shark. Root of hemlock, dig in the dark. Liver of blaspheming Jew. Roll of goats and slips of you slivered in the moon's eclipse. Nose of Turk and Tartarus. tiger's children for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Dabble, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron blood. Cool it with a baboon's blood. Now the time is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
And now you secret black and midnight hags. What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you. By that which you profess, however you come to know it, answer me. Answer me to what I ask you.
Speak, speak, speak. Demand, demand. Demand. We'll answer. We'll answer. Say if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or from that of our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 farrow. Grease that sweatin' from murderers give it. Throw into the flame. Come high or low, thyself and office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thoughts. Hear its words, but say thou not.
Beware! Macbeth! 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 Beware Macduff! Beware the Thane of Fife! Dismiss me! Enough!
But there thou art, for thy good caution, thanks, thou hast hogged my fear aright. No, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Let me as I hear thee.
Be bloody, bold and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man. For none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Live, Macduff. What need I fear thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure. And take upon the fate thou shalt not live. That amidst her pale heart of fear it lies. Sleep in spite of thunder. What's this? That rises like the issue of a king. Wears upon its baby brow the round top of suffering.
Listen, but speak not to it. Feline mettled, proud, and take no care. Who shakes, who frets, or what conspires are. Macbeth shall never vanquish me. Until great Burnham Wood, to high Dunsinane Hill, shall come against him.
That shall never be! Who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix its earthbound root.
Sweet Bodimint's good. But yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, shall vanquish you ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied! Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall upon you!
Let me know.
Show!
Oh, true life, the spirit of thankful. Down! The other gold-bound brow is like the first. The third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? The fourth? Start, eyes! What, will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet! The seventh? And now the eighth appears, which bears a glass which shows me many more, some of whom do balls treble scepters carry. Now I see it is true. The blood-bolted Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What? Can such things be? I curse within the calendar.
What's your grace's will?
So you the weird sisters.
No, my lord.
Can they not buy you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Fated be the hell in which they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who was it came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England.
Aye, my good lord.
Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits. Flighty purpose is ne'er all took unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that do trace him in his line. I'm a boasting that fool. This deed I'll do before the purpose go. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are!
What had he done to make him fly the land? Must have patience, madam. He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors. You know not whether it was wisdom or his fear. His wisdom! To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansions and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch, for the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in the nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love, as little as the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason. My dearest cousin, I pray you school yourself, but for your husband. He is wise, noble, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further. The cruel are the times when we are traitors and know not ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at their worst shall cease, or else climb up to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessings upon you. Fathered he is, and yet he is fatherless. I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave of you at once. Sirrah, your father is dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird. Dost never fear the net nor line, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds they're not set for. My father is not dead for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet it faces wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Every one.
Who must hang them?
By the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
God help thee, poor monkey, but how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkest.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known. Though in your state of honor I am perfect, I doubt some danger is approaching nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here, hence, with your little ones. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. I remember now. I am of this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, and to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why, then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
Here's a traitor.
The lies thou
What? You a young fry of treachery?
Run away, I say!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men, bestride our downfall and birthday. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland and yelled out like a syllable of Dona.
What you have spoke. It may be so, perchance. This tyrant whose sole name blisters our tongues was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge, but I shall crave your pardon. That which you are my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance even there I did find my doubts. Why then, Ronus, left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave-taking, I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Leave, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou thy basins sure. For goodness dare not check thee. Wear thou thy wrongs. The title is afeard. Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be the villain thou thinkst, for the whole space within a tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here, from gracious England, have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, and more sundry ways than ever by him that shall succeed. What should he be? It is myself, I mean. in whom I know all the particulars of vice, so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless arms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned and evil as the top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust and my desire. All countenant impediments would overbear that it opposed my will. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not yet to upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious place, and yet seem cold. In time you may so hoodwink. We have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection. Such a staunchless avarice that were I king, I should cut off the nobles of their lands. Desire his jewels in this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more. That I should forge quarrels against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than some assumed lust. What hath been the sword of our slain kings? Yet, do not fear. Scotland hath voices to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable, with other graces weighed.
But I have none. The king, becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, loneliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them. But abound in each civil crime, acting in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell. Abroad in universal peace, confound all unity on earth. Oh, Scotland. Oh, Scotland. If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? Fit to govern? No! Not to live! O nation miserable! With an untitled tyrant bloody sceptred, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since the truest issue of thy throne, by his own interdiction stands accursed, and does blaspheme his breed. Thy would a father was a most sacred king, the queen that bore thee, offered upon her knees and on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast. Thy hope ends here. Macduff!
This noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth by many of these trains has sought to win me into his power. And modest wisdom plucks me from over-credulous haste, but God above deal between thee and me. For even now, I put myself to thy direction and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to women. Never was forsworn. Scarcely have coveted what was mine own. At no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. What I am, truly, is thine and my poor country's to command. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. It's hard to reconcile.
Well, more than none.
See, who comes here?
My countryman, yet I know her not.
My ever gentle cousin. Welcome hither.
I know her now. Good God, but time's removed the means that makes us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave.
How does my wife?
Why, well,
And all my children?
well too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Quickly, let me have it. How goes?
When I came hither to transport these tidings, which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellow that were out, which was to my belief witness the rather, for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight, to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good Sayward and 10,000 men, an older and better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
But I can answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that would be howled out in the desert air, or hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause? Or is his fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest but in them finds some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, that shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To rend the man a word on the quarry these murdered deer, to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven! What, man, never put your hat upon your brows? Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the overfraught heart and bids it break.
My children too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you see all? Oh, okay. Oh, what? All my pretty chickens in their dam. And what thus?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot help but remember such things were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful my tongue. They were all struck for thee. Not for their own demerits, but for mine. Mine! Fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart. Enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with my eyes, and then brag it with my tongue. The gentle heavens cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself within my sword's length and set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready, our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for the shaking. The powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights' watch with you, but can perceive no truth in your reports. Well, when was it last she walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to her bed, all while in a most fast sleep.
Great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefits of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That which I will not report after her.
You may to me, 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone. Having no witness to confirm my speech, lo, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep.
How came she by that light?
It stood by her. She has life by her continually. 'Tis her command.
But her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
She does know. Look how she rubs her hands.
Aye, 'tis an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her to continue in this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
She speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out! Damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! What a soldier and a fear! What need we to fear? Who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
You love that.
Oh, the fate of I've had a wife. Where is she now? What will these hands never be clean? No more of that, my lord. No more of that.
Go to.
You
Go
marvel with this
You have
story.
heard what you should have not.
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Yet here's the smell of blood still. Oh, the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice, yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep and who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look, you're not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds will breed unnatural troubles. Affected minds to their death pillows will discharge their secrets. And one needs she to divine than the physician. Oh God. God, forgive us all. Look after her. Remove her from all means of annoyance, but still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has mated and amazed my sights, I think, but dare not speak.
Good night. Good doctor.
The English power is near. Led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macbeth. Revenge is burned in them. For their dear causes would to the bleeding and the grim excite the mortified man.
Near Burnham Wood shall we meet them. That way are they coming.
Who knows if Donald Bain be with his brother?
For certain, sir, he is not. I have a file of all the gentry. There is Seward's son, and many unrough youth that even now protest their first of manhood.
What does the tyrant? Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad. Others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury. But for certain, he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murders sticking to his hands. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe on a dwarfish thief.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there?
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. Meet we the medicine of the sickly wheel, and with him pour we in our country's purge each drop of us.
Or so much as it needs, to do the sovereign flower and drown the weeds. Make we our march towards Burnham.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly or... So Burnham would remove the Dunsinane I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? Spirits, then all mortal consequence have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall have power over thee. But fly those things, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt nor quake with fear. The devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon! What else thou that goose look?
10,000
Peace, villain.
soldiers, sir.
Prick thy face, nor red thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers, Patch? Death of my soul! These linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear! What soldiers, Wayface?
The English horse. So please you.
Take your face hence. Satan! I am sick at heart when I behold. Satan, I say! This bush would cheer me ever or deceive me now. I lived long enough. My way of life has fallen into the sere, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends. I must not look to have, but in their steadfastness, not loud but deep, mouth honor, breath with the full heart would fain deny, and yet dare not. Satan!
It is your gracious pleasure.
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
It is not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses, scare the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me my armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that.
Nothing. What is this before us? The wood of Burnham. Let every soldier hew him down about, and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery errand report of us. We learn no other. Then the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it. Is his main hope. For where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things, whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend a true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thus speculative their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue shows must arbitrate, towards which advance the war.
Strength will have besieged to scorn. Here let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dare for beard to beard and beat them backward home. What's that noise? I almost forgot the taste of fears. Time was my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life were in it. I have slept full with horrors. Direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry? The queen, my lord, is dead. She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out! Breathe again. Life's but a walking shadow. Poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Now come use thy tongue, thy story, quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and on me thought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say a moving grove.
If thou speakst false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling there. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. Pull in resolution. And begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not, Macbeth, till Burnham wood do come to Dunsinane. And our wood comes toward Dunsinane. On the doubt! If this which he avouches does appear, there is no flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell! Blow wind! Come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back.
So leafy screens, throw down! And show like those you are! You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle! Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight? Let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
They've tied me to the stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like must fight the cause. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or none?
What is thy name?
Don't be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to thine ear.
No, no more fearful.
Thou liest, born tyrant. With my sword, I'll prove the lie thou speakest.
Swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman born.
And where the noises? Tyrant, show thy face. If thou be slain and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. And I strike at wretched kerns, His arms are hired to bear their staves. Even thou, Macbeth! Or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheathed again undeeded. There thou shouldst be! And this great clatter, one of greatest notes since brooded. Let me find a fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my lord. The castle is gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The Daedal once itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
No! Why should I play the Roman fool and die upon my own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better on them.
Turn, hellhound.
Turn! Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back! My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Now bring out your villain and terms can give thee out.
Wait! 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 Thou losest labor! As easy mayest thou, first the trenchant hairs make me bleed. Yield to one a woman born!
Despair thy charm. And let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macbeth was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Cursed be the tongue that tells me so. Burneth God my better part of man. Be these juggling fiends no more believe that palter with us in a double sense. We keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward. And live. Live to be the show and gaze at a time. We'll have you as our rarer monsters are. Painted on a pall. And under it, here, may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield. To kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet and be painted with the rabble's curse. The wormwood be come to Dunsinane, and now opposed of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Lay on, Macbeth, and damned be him that prescribes holding up.
Hail, King! So thou art. Behold, where stands usurper's cursed head, the time is free. I see the compass with thy kingdom's pearl. It speaks my salutation in their minds. Whose voices I desire loud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland!
My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, which would be newly planted with the time, is calling forth our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, myself and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, we will perform, in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone!